ahead and rewind the time, even though we can't reverse this crime. That's the worst feeling that I have ever felt. I'm here speaking from the bottom of my heart and mind. I lost control, I'm crying, cause none of this is right. She was only 20, ready to serve her country, her family. Proud for her to be in the army, for hood is what she wanted to be. A sergeant named Robinson is who she got to meet until she disappeared on April 22, 2020. My mom noticed I was acting different, more distant. She knew me better than ever. I was scared to tell her till I had no resistance. I was sexually harassed along with other female soldiers who was wishing for the sergeant to stop as he made an order. No respect for the rules, this fool was only risking his life till he ends up in prison. My mother tried to convince me to give her the name, and ever since then I went missing. His military career was the only thing he cared. How dare he grab a hammer and plunger her to death like it was fair. Well, him and his girl left her from me right there, till there was nothing left, just a strain of hair. And to leave the scent to a conclusion, and end this life by suicide with no brain power, what a nightmare. Once you inhale your sense, there's no way you can exhale bad energy into the atmosphere, air. I'm asking if anyone cares, is anyone there? This whole thing is making me sick to my stomach. I had enough of it. Let's seek for justice everywhere. These tears are rushing, the pain is crushing my heart. I'm too depressed to speak to the public. I'm anxious and stressed to see me, my body weak. Don't talk to me about health care. A strong feeling for the Guillen family, cause I know what y'all dealing with. My condolences to y'all. Now take care.
Buenas noches, entonces buenas a todos que están aquí presentes. Gracias por venir, gracias por estar aquí y enseñar el apoyo. Primeramente dándole las gracias al Creador por otro día de vida, al Padre Sol por otro día de luz, a Madre Tierra por otro día de cariño. Y pues primeramente a todos los que están aquí, a todos los que llegaron, thank you for your presence, desde mi derecha a mi izquierda. Lo que están viendo aquí es un altar. Como saben, hoy es el 21, el cumpleaños de Vanessa Guillen, cumple sus 21, y pues le vamos a dedicar un altar lleno de luz, lleno de flores, lleno de lo que pueda representar todo su ser. En un vigil originalmente es toda la noche, pero pues aquí, bajo las circunstancias que estamos, no podemos estar aquí toda la noche, se lo vamos a hacer durar lo que más se pueda. Cuando prendes la luz en un altar, la luz principal está en el medio, es la que está aquí en el medio, y la luz se prende de esa luz, porque esa luz prende otra luz, y tiene otra luz, y se sigue repitiendo, y entre más luz haya, más brillo va a haber. Traje la Virgen María Guadalupe porque su mamá siempre le hace praise a lot to the best y le pide el milagro de que se le haga justicia. So Nana Tonancy siempre va a estar aquí presente, so for her all along. El copal siempre presente para darle señal que estamos aquí. La luz indica que estamos aquí, que estamos allá por ella. Tiene su agua para cuando llegue y se vaya, pueda tomar. Tiene su bocado para cuando llegue puede comer y se puede ir bien. Voy a hacer un canto, mi segunda vez haciendo un canto en público, so sí, me da vergüenza, un poco shy, but it's like whatever. But we all have to step up and do things that we have to do on to like be strong. Es un canto que se dedica a una persona pues que está en el otro lado y que pues, se dedica el canto para una persona que ya se fue, que ya no está aquí, y siempre se dedica en los temazcales, pero en este caso no es temazcal, y pues es un prayer. So originalmente se llama Abuelito, porque el abuelito es el primero que se va, pero como es para Vanessa Guillen, and she's our age, so le voy a poner hermanita, So, yeah. Bueno, eso. Hermanita, hermanita, yo te canto, canto, canto. Yo te mando este canto a la puerta de mi clan. Hey, ha, hey, ho. Hey, ha, hey, ho. Nintloque, nahuaque, nintloque, nahuaque. Pani mawalik o meteo, pani manualik o meteo. Hey ya, hey yo, hey ya, hey yo. Hermanita, hermanita, yo te quiero tanto, tanto. Yo te extraño tanto, tanto. Desde la puerta de mezcal. Hey ya, hey yo, hey ya, hey yo. Este sol se acabó y otro más ya comenzó. Pani mawalik o meteo, pani mawalik o meteo. Hey ya, hey yo, hey ya, hey yo. Thank you. Esta otra canción que se dedica cuando das la flor, like when you say bye to that person already, and it's like the last moment you see them, te das una flor, te tienes una vela, te das una flor, lo que sea. Se llama Sochni Inagua. Shikiye, wan Sochni. Shikiye, wan pano yo, lo yo. Pampani mix la sotla, pampani mix la sotla, itano chino yolo, shikiye wan sochli, shikiye wan pano yolo, pampani mix la sotla. Pampani mix la sotla, ikano chino yolo. Guarda esta flor, guárdala en tu corazón, porque yo te quiero, porque yo te amo, desde mi corazón. Over there. Thank you all. Thank you. So we're gonna turn on the first light, and this light is gonna represent the lights that we're giving to Vanessa Guillen. And it's gonna start with one person, and then she's gonna pass it down to that person, and that person's gonna pass it down to the next person. So that light is gonna create a lot of lights at the end, but it's the same light. So como estamos aquí por Vanessa, lo vamos a representar en Vanessa Guillen. So we got it's okay, but Please be careful with the hot water because it quema bonito, I know.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight to celebrate and honor Vanessa Guillen's birthday. Today is Vanessa Guillen's birthday. She would have been 21 years young. Vanessa Guillen is one human of unfortunately many who have fallen into the cycle of military sexual violence. Vanessa Guillen unfortunately did not make it out of the military alive. But what is even more shameful and saddening is that she died on our land. She died on U.S. territory. She was murdered on the base that she was stationed at. Prior to her disappearance, Vanessa told her mother about the sexual harassment that she was experiencing while stationed at Fort Hood. So we are gathered here tonight to celebrate the life of Vanessa and to continue to keep her name alive to fight for our soldiers. Vanessa Guillen is only one of many soldiers that have been silenced. And happy birthday to Vanessa Guillen, and now I'm going to pass on the floor to Diana.
Thank you guys for coming. It's been such a nice time out here putting the altar together and joining energies with everyone. Everyone feels so beautiful today. I can feel everybody's energy out here. And thank you guys for being here. As you guys, some of you guys may know, I'm a U.S. Army veteran. I served for 9 years. I was also 18 when I joined back in 2000. The recruiter was actually out of this recruiting station, and he went to the high school. When I was a junior in high school, he approached me, and he told me about the wonderful benefits I would be getting from the Army, like college tuition and traveling the world, and he just painted this beautiful picture for me. And of course, I'm from Greenfield, so that sounded like a fantasy, and that was great bait for me. My parents were both immigrants. I worked in the fields for about 25 years, so they didn't have the resources for me to go to college. And luckily, like I've shared before, I'm one of the few lucky ones that survived military sexual harassment. I didn't experience it as horrible as she did, but I did live through it. It happened about 20 years ago, so this is why it's so important that we push for justice. It's still going on. It's gotten worse. It didn't improve. Nothing's improved. So we definitely want to push to get the military people out of our high schools. There's other ways to finance for college and pursue our dreams. I'll just share a quick story of what I experienced right when I joined the Army. I was stationed in South Korea for a year, and over there we have 20 males to 1 female. And when I first got there, the guys told me that I was going to be fresh meat and that I was going to be a queen for a year. At 18, that sounded very scary. I had no idea what that meant, but I learned quickly. I couldn't walk around the base by myself. I never felt safe to walk around the base by myself. I always had to have a male friend with me in order for me to stay safe. And even then, a lot of the men didn't stop saying really hurtful things about my body or things they wanted to do to me. So I was always scared, always paranoid. I never felt safe, and that was 20 years ago. So look at what happened 20 years later and has continued to happen. We still heard of other people who have suffered the same consequences poor Vanessa has too. So just wanted to share that it has happened to many of us and in different forms. And I will share later on different ways you can empower yourself and push yourself out of that trauma and help yourself or loved ones that you know of that have suffered from that kind of trauma and suffer from PTSD today because of it. En resumen, en español, quiero darles las gracias por estar aquí. Quisiera compartir mi historia un poquito sobre mi experiencia en el Army. Yo entré al Army cuando tenía 18 años de edad, hace 20 años. So, cuando yo estuve en el Army, tuve una experiencia donde los muchachos me hicieron sentir como que era un pedazo de carne. Me dijeron cuando llegué a mi primera estación en Corea que iba a ser reina de un año, que era carne fresca. Yo tenía 18 años, soy de Greenfield, yo no sabía nada de eso, yo no sabía qué quería decir eso, pero luego comprendí que no estaba a salvo caminar sola ahí en la base. Siempre tenía que estar acompañada con un amigo o con un hombre que yo tenía confianza. So, yo nunca me sentí a gusto, y eso fue hace 20 años, y se empeoraron las cosas, no se mejoraron. Por eso es muy importante de compartir esta información a los jovencitos, que hay diferentes formas para ir al colegio y seguir sus sueños. Queremos sacar a los militares de las high schools para que no vayan a invitar a más muchachitos a caer en esta sentencia. So, quería darle las gracias por escuchar mi historia y ojalá podamos trabajar todos juntos para seguir buscando justicia para Vanessa y todos los personales en el militar que han sufrido por esta clase de acoso. Gracias.
Buenas noches, gracias por acompañarnos. Fuimos a cantarle las mañanitas. Agradecida que más descanse. Nacieron todas las flores, en la pila del bautizo cantaron los reyes señores. Ya viene amaneciendo, a la luz del día nos dio. Levántate de mañana, mira que amaneció. Quisiera ser solecito para entrar por tu ventana y darte los buenos días, acostadita en tu cama. Quisiera ser un San Juan, quisiera ser un San Pedro y venirte a saludar con la música del cielo. Ya viene amaneciendo, a la luz del día nos dio. Levántate de mañana, mira que ya amaneció.
Thank you guys for being here, for showing up today. This year has obviously been, quite a ride. When I think about Vanessa, I can't help but think about my younger sister, who's only a couple years younger, and she's just a baby, just a kid, just a child. And Vanessa was just a child, just a baby, just a kid. Unfortunately not taken care of by a system that promised her security and protection and honor. And when I see that, when I see our relatives, our relations, our brothers, our sisters, signing away their lives to something that just destroys them, destroys their families, it makes me really upset. It makes me really upset. For me, I don't want to see recruitment centers in poor communities anymore. I don't want to see them coming for our kids in high school, going after young football players, going after young athletes. I don't want to see them taking our relations and having them fighting for capitalistic gains, capitalistic needs. You know, I have relatives. My uncle was a Marine. I have friends who served as veterans, and really incredible people. You know, incredible people. But my gripe, my issue is with the system itself. And when is that going to change? When is that going to change? How many more of our relatives are we going to let them take in and have them murdered at a military branch and have no answers? No real answers. You know, to have our relatives lost in obscurity and unknowingness. What are we going to do to make that change happen? What are we going to do? When are we going to step up? When are we going to stand up and say no more? Say no more to these cruel practices that exploit our people in poor communities and put them at the front lines of rich people's wars. These are just things to think about. But again, thank you guys for showing up, for honoring the memory of Vanessa. And you know, you guys are Vanessa's army. But understand what you're saying when you say you are her army. What are you fighting for? What are you fighting against? What are you going to do about it? What are we going to? How are we going to stand up in our communities? How are we going to do better ways to look out for the youth? We have to pull in our youth first before these outside agencies come in. We have to develop a bigger sense of community and take care of each other. And that's really the biggest change you can make. The most radical thing you can do is take care of your neighbor. Make peace with your neighbor. Organize out there on the streets. You know, I mean, there's gangs out there. They're organized, but we just got to change our focus on. We got to change our focus on what we're fighting against, and it's not each other. And you know, a lot of people talk about a revolution coming, but it's here, and it's time to prepare. Time to prepare, and time to hold each other close and take care of each other. And put our money back into our communities, take care of our communities, and you guys are doing it right now by showing up. So, thank you guys for being here on what would have been her birthday. Does anyone have anything they want to share, a personal experience that might be related to Vanessa, a poem, something to your community? You have a chance to grab the microphone if you'd like. This is Andrea from Agents of Change, guys.
Good evening, everybody. I just visited my family, and it's been a crazy time for all of us. You know, it's been heavy. There's a lot going on in the world. But when I look around me and I see my community standing here, it's a Wednesday night, y'all. Look what we're doing. I'm moved. I'm touched, and I'm so overwhelmed with a sense of gratitude and harmony in my heart right now looking at y'all. Because we all, you know, some of us have kids, multiple kids, some of us have full-time jobs, and here we are gathering in a space to honor the life of a young woman who did not, there was no justice. And here we are, by standing here in this way, I can't describe the amount of gratitude I feel when I look around y'all. Like, this is what community and unity and solidarity looks like, coming together on a Wednesday night under this beautiful, almost full moon in this way. What a blessing. So I'm just, from the bottom of my heart, you know, I almost didn't come. I'm tired, you know. Got a family, I got a grandma with Alzheimer's I'm watching, you know, and to stand here and to see you all, I'm just, again, full of gratitude. And Vanessa, we're holding it down for you down here to the best that we can. And thank you to Frida, thank you to everybody who put this together, because I wouldn't be anywhere else but here right now. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, we're just gonna play some music, and again, just enjoy the space here. You know, breathe some air in. You know, relax, give thanks, hold those intentions in your heart for the future you want to see, and introduce yourself to your neighbors, guys. And with that said, my name is Isaac, and I'm from an organization called Simply a Service, and thank you guys for inviting me here and for being here with me today. And again, just hold those intentions in your hearts. It's all love out here.
I just wanted to share really quick before you guys start to scatter. I know that Vanessa Guillen's mom has been sharing how she feels about her daughter and what happened to her, and one of the things that stood out for me was that her daughter has always been a beacon of light through her work and now through her death. Let it be an empowerment for those who have suffered from this trauma so that it doesn't happen again, and to heal our communities from any kind of trauma. On the table over here, you'll find some resources for mental health, any type of trauma. As she just shared right now, we're going through so much and everybody deserves healing. We're all trying to heal in any way possible, but I highly encourage you guys to seek healthy coping skills. There's a list of healthy coping skills as well on there. Estoy compartiendo lo que la mamá de Vanessa Guillen está diciendo ahorita a las noticias, a las comunidades, que su hija siempre ha sido como una luz para su comunidad con su trabajo y ahora con su muerte, y quiere empoderar a las personas que están pasando por estas situaciones, que no les vuelvan a pasar y también que sanen. A cualquier persona que ha pasado por una trauma, ya sea de acoso o cualquier clase de trauma, pueden buscar ayuda, hay recursos para sanarse. La salud mental es muy importante, y ahorita, como compartió nuestra querida Andrea, ella compartió que estamos pasando por tanta cosa en este mundo, y ahorita cada uno de ustedes está sufriendo en silencio, a lo mejor con algo les está afectando con lo que estamos pasando. Quiero compartir unos recursos que hay para la salud mental, cositas que pueden hacer para ustedes mismos a diario, para hacerse sentir un poquito mejor, sanar su espíritu, su salud mental. Hay cositas pequeñas que podemos hacer, ya sea caminar, ejercicio. La trauma se queda en nuestro cuerpo. So the issue is in the tissue. Your trauma, any type of trauma we experience, stays in our muscle, in our tissue. Our body keeps the score. So I just want to share, you're welcome to pick up some resources. If you want to look into therapy or looking into any type of self-help, we have some local resources and national resources listed on our paper right over here on this table. And please come over and get some coffee and some pan dulce. Thank you guys.
Hi, my name is Ricardo, and during this time I want to urge to push the I Am Vanessa Guillen bill. What is the I Am Vanessa Guillen bill? The I Am Vanessa Guillen bill would be allowing active duty service members to file sexual harassment and assault claims to a third-party agency instead of bringing it to their own line of command. Everyone that is serving our country should be protected, should be respected, and should be safe. Vanessa Guillen enlisted in the Army to serve for our country, yet sexual harassment was definitely excessive. Vanessa Guillen was murdered, and the U.S. Army didn't do anything about it. The bill needs to be signed by the President and turn into a law so this type of injustice doesn't happen again. At this moment, we're demanding answers, justice, accountability for Vanessa Guillen, for the victims of sexual harassment, for the murdered and missing U.S. Army soldiers. Today I'm asking to please, each one of you here, and if you can pass this on with your friends, family, please reach out to, so you would be calling and emailing your local congressmen, congresswomen, senators, and demand to please support the I Am Vanessa Guillen bill. Like Natalie Kawam, the attorney of family of Guillen, said, this bill will protect our military and we have a duty to do for them. They fight for us, it's time we fight for them. So what are we gonna do? Fight for them. So please, if you guys can please email your congresswomen, men, senators, and have them support this bill. Thank you.
really important in what her family is asking for. So we're asking all of our A31 comadres family out there, and compadres, por favor, to please call your local congressperson and ask them to please support the I Am Vanessa Guillen bill.
Hey everybody, this is just at the request of a few people. I just wanted to share that voter registration is something that's really important for us to be thinking about, because our voices, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, at different ages in my life, previous to being age 30, 31, I may not have wanted to vote, being real with y'all. I didn't even vote. I didn't see the point, but we're living in a different time. And if we don't care, no one's going to fucking care. And I'm sorry to say that over you, Vanessa, but I think you'd feel it just as strongly if you were here right now in your physical form. So voter registration is happening in a lot of places, including this Saturday at the Salinas Farmers Market. I will be there with several others who are standing here today on behalf of MCSCA31, which is the Monterey County Black and Brown Solidarity Coalition, who also led the East Side to Seaside March. They are organizing voter registration this Saturday from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Salinas Farmers Market in downtown Salinas. As well as on Wednesday evening next week, there are several coalitions that are coming together who are also going to be trying their best to organize a town hall meeting. So any of you who live in Salinas or nearby, if you can come, we are organizing a town hall meeting where we're getting the Salinas Council members together so we can discuss the Salinas City budget, because we all know the Salinas City budget is not balanced, right? So, I believe it's our duty, and if you can be there on Saturday for voter reg, or encourage your friends and family to show up and to register, there will be raffles and prizes and lots of different things to encourage people to come out. And then as well, if you can encourage your friends and family to show up to Natividad Creek Park on Wednesday evening, you will find out more information in the coming weeks. Feel free to ask me in person. And that's going to be on Wednesday evening around 5 to 6 p.m. Okay? Again, my name's Andrea. Feel free to ask me any questions. Thank you.
So, vamos voy a llamar una canción de la unión, if everybody can gather around the altar so we can all look más fuerte y más unidos. And then, yeah, so I'm nervous.
You're doing great.
Esta canción, esta canción no tiene tantos años, nació en una ceremonia at the Mexican New Year, and it was introduced to entre danzantes por danzantes, and it's a unity song. Es una canción para traer la luz, para que florezca la luz, para unirnos pues. They do a sunrise ceremony, and every time the sun comes out, they always siempre la cantan, porque entonces nos pregunta. So I'm gonna share it with you guys. It's really easy. It's 2 and 2, son dos coros nomás. Y empieza. Ay, 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 oh, oh, me teo. Ay, 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 oh, oh, me teo. I may not know politics and statistics, pero curar el corazón y eliminar el alma sí lo sé. Y todos ponemos un granito de arena. So, anyway, thank you for being here. Mr. Jerry and being my favorite partners. Yeah, let's do this strong. Did you want to share a song? Yeah?
I'll try to do it. I'll just repeat it over and over again. I'll go to the next page. I'll go with you. Todo cura, todo sana, todo tiene medicina dentro. Llevo medicina dentro. Todo tiene agua dentro, todo tiene aire dentro, todo tiene fuego dentro, todo tiene tierra dentro. Llevo medicina dentro, llevo fuerza dentro. Todo cura, todo sana, todo tiene medicina dentro. Yo llevo support. Greenfield is going to need our support keeping up the mural. So just keep an eye out on social media. If you're following, if you saw this post for today's vigil, you'll see the call to action to help support the Vanessa Guillen mural out in Greenfield. Just keep an eye out because we're going to have to send emails, a bunch of emails, lost in the emails, to show that the community does not want the mural down. We put it up, South County, Monterey County, we're a whole community, even though South County is overlooked. It's a smaller towns. They need our support, so just keep an eye out on social media. We're gonna need you guys to tell your friends, family that we need to send in emails by October 6th, but soon you'll see how you can do that, but we need to show South County the support that we're showing Vanessa Guillen's family from afar. So yeah, just keep an eye out because it'd be a big disrespect to take down the mural that was in the name of Vanessa Guillen.
Right now we're here doing it for Vanessa Guillen, but we stood there amongst each other for other people. Some of our brothers and sisters that are here today just recently marched to Wallace Ice. Our people suffer, man. Our people suffer. And as long as we keep coming together in all ways that we can to provide that help, to provide that support, and try to push away all this negativity that continues to try and consume our people, we will continue forward. You know, right here across from my other brother that has been with his people and supported other people in other group segments to get it ahead. We have people that are here who have different characteristics that people are not used to right here as well. But we're all here in unity, man. It's a beautiful thing when we're here gathered in front of Vanessa. She said, you know, for whatever reason, we became family. And we're a family right here, right now, believe it or not. Because there's a lot of people I had mentioned to Z earlier that a lot of people are just sitting at home, kicking back, doing their normal routine, but you're sacrificing your time here. And it's important. And whether you believe in the universe, God, the Virgen, whatever, we're all here brought together by something bigger at hand. Let's keep pushing that together. More powerful, embrace our brothers and sisters to continue on forward and embrace each other, because we're all we got. We're all we got. Seriously, we're all we got. When shit hits the fan, who else do you rely on? When shit hits the fan, a lot of people will turn their backs on you. And it's time to recognize that. It's time to recognize those people who have been there, who have stood by you, who have continued, who bring to attention their things that bother them. Because that's the only way we're going to get ahead. So it's an honor to be here amongst you all. It's a pleasure to be here. At the same time, in honor of Vanessa Guillen, her birthday, I admire everybody's courage to even speak up and sing, to share their words, to share their vocal cords, their beliefs, and everything else they stand for. I think we can always do it together in unity, regardless of where we stand. As long as it's not against the grain, we will continue moving forward. God bless you all. May the universe be with you. May the Creator guide you in all walks of life. And even though we all struggle, we have brothers and sisters here who are willing to guide us, push us in that right direction. I don't have a better word for it. Amen.
thank you everyone for being here, for attending, and you know, it truly is a ceremony. And you know, a lot of you here, I know, don't take that real lightly. Thank you for the music as well, for sharing the songs. You know, as our sister Lisa, who's not here, always mentions, it's a healing, you know, code. It's a frequency. I mean, I don't know. Every time that I hear the songs, it changes everything for me, and it reminds me, you know, why the true purpose of what we're here for. So, thank you guys for sharing in the space, because it is a ceremony. And you guys are here to help heal and open up these portals for healing, so we can release this. Yeah, it's great to continue to develop and cultivate these relationships. I'm humbled and I'm honored.
This stuff is really scary, man. About less than a month ago, there was a truck that pulled up on my daughter, put out a gun, and asked for her to come. Luckily, she was smart enough to just get away from the scene, so she ran away. She ran into the house. And when that happened, she wasn't with me. She was at her mom's house, so I wasn't there. But, you know, I called the police. I didn't know what to do. You know, I didn't have anybody to do anything. And that scared me. So when we came over here, just talking about this, you know, it means a lot. Thank you, everybody, for being here.
Yeah, that's just another testament to essentially how serious things are in this. You know, I don't like to call it a war, but it's a real heavy energy that we have to really navigate. That means us being serious about protecting each other, really being serious about protecting each other, and knowing that we should be able to call anyone up at any time of the night or the day, you know, and be able to protect ourselves. I know a lot of us here call for defunding the police and the abolishment of police, and what comes with that is that we have to provide also another alternative to the police, and that means that we all have to step up, men and women, everyone in the community. So consider, you know, SOS, we're always going to do, and all my friends and all of us here, I know that for a fact that as far as I go, or as far as, you know, my people, like, we'll do what we can when we can at any time of the day, because the old world is dying off. You know, when you look around, it's a facade of what it used to be, and energies are going to get a little bit crazier. Sometimes it gets harder before, you know, that dawn comes, but yeah, we're here guys, to do what we can. Yeah, just spread the message. I know you guys are living it, you know, so I'm preaching to the choir here. A lot of you already know these things we're talking about. We got to carry that message to our neighborhoods, to the gangs, to everywhere. Honestly, everywhere we can. Bring in the young ones to cultivate brothers and sisters.
I agree, man. I mean, think about it real quick. How many people can you call and actually rely on right now? They will go pick you up if you really needed to think about it, for real. I mean, most of us say we have friends and they say, like, you know, that, oh, you know, they would be there. And maybe they're here. That's cool. That's good. You know, but let's think about that. Because my brother right here, he just said, man, he had to rely on the police, man. But what could they have done? What would they do?
They didn't even care. You know, like that's and I could just hear in their voice, it was like nothing to them. You know, it didn't matter. And I don't know if it's because I just don't know what it was. But I felt
yeah, we feel, man. We feel for your. I mean,
I can barely talk about it.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. And I praise you for your courage to say about it. I see your daughter's eyes right now, and it's like, I don't have no kid, man. You know, but earlier today, with Samantha, we talked about these kids that are in cages right now. So we know just only our imagination can take us to the depths of those levels of what it must feel like for people's children to be taken away. She has her own child, so I know she feels that even deeper than anybody else. And when I say that at that moment, it's just because of the conversation that we had. But I'm sure we can all depth ourselves into that pain, man. We've seen it. We've heard the horrific stories that happen, especially with even human trafficking that's going on. There's a lot of reality, man, that doesn't get put on our media. It's unfortunate, but us ourselves, we can provide this information. Just like we said, we can protect ourselves as well. When we do it, when we go been out there, man, we do it. And believe it or not, man, we've had trucks coming at us. We had people coming at us. We've even had there's investigations and whatnot going on, probably on people that are here right now. For all we know, there's an infiltrator as we speak. But with that said, that's why it's important to see who's around, what they're saying, what they're talking about. Because believe it or not, this is reality. This is a new world, just like my brother said, man. Sooner or later, what are you gonna do? Are we all ready to stand up when you're outnumbered by 300 people? Because that's where it counts, man. My brother said it before, we're all warriors. Believe it or not, you're all warriors. All of you here have something that has given this cause a meaning. Because it didn't just start with 1,000 people. It started with one person having a voice. It started with somebody listening, and then it kept on going. And as long as we continue to listen to each other, empower each other, and help each other out, and embrace each other, sorry. The only way ever been advanced not only just as people, but in a new community. To keep going forward, man, and help each other out. It's unfortunate with this event that took place with your family, bro, but sometimes it doesn't affect you until it finally hits home, right? And I'm sure maybe some of us have family in the military, but at the same time, there's females here who have probably faced their own, form of sexual harassment or whatnot. Or worst case scenario, they've gotten molested or raped. I've heard stories. We've all heard stories. At the same time, it's up for the men to, call upon themselves to stand up for our women. Without them, we're nothing, man. We wouldn't be here. That's the truth. That's plain and simple truth. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. I'm not sure. I don't want to give credit with credit. Ricky, Lisa, Rita, you guys all put this together, correct? Brian? Yeah.
I didn't pray, and I'm not very good at public speaking, but we need to put our heads down. But Almighty Father, Universe, Creator, let's keep giving support to Vanessa's family, her mother. She's going through it still. I'm hoping one day we find justice for baby girl, and I'm hoping it's not going to bring her back. But I hope her mom gets to rest and sleep easily each night. And the person that did this to her will be burning in hell. And we're here for you. We're here for the family. We're not here might not be here saying face to face to you, but just know that we're here across all nations, just praying, loving you, and hoping that you're resting and you will find justice.